Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another exciting episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I am your host, that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always smiling, life is great, 592, living in the 718, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. Man, I almost fumbled on that intro.
So
But
good.
with that being said, our special guest tonight is a man who is one half. He's formerly one half of one of the most intimidating and dominating tag teams in the Northeast. And actually, they were the first ever 1CW tag team champions. And now he's actually moved on to actually owning, running the most successful, in my opinion, all women's promotion in the Northeast. They're actually their home base is in the great state of Delaware. Everybody, welcome to the show, the man who's making it happen like a captain, Murchello.
Hey man, I appreciate that introduction. That's pretty powerful and whatnot. But no,
No problem, man. No problem.
to be real, man. To be honest with you, thanks for having me on the show, man. It's a pleasure, man. I'm really excited and ready to rock.
Yeah, hey, thank you for actually, giving us this opportunity because we've been trying to have you on here for a long time, like for a couple of months now. And
Yeah.
I actually remember when you guys were starting up. You guys were starting up like back, I think it was 2017, 2018. I saw you guys doing your thing, and then of course, COVID happened, and that kind of slowed everybody's vibe down. And then then I saw you guys, coming back up. I'm like, oh snap, these guys are coming back. These guys are actually about to do the damn thing, and it's about to be lit. I didn't even before the first show, I was like, it's about to be crazy. I just know it. And I seen a couple of highlights from y'all shows, and I was like, man, this dude is doing the damn thing, man. Like, it's really serious, So I just gotta say, man, hey, welcome back, and also, thank you for you know all the great shows you've been putting on, in the Northeast, and not just in the Northeast, for us fans around the world. Because yes, people, you can actually, if you can't be in Delaware, if you can't be in Houston, Delaware for CCW, you can always go on Title Match. You can order it, and you'll get to watch it live as well. So
Right.
it's no excuse to not support CCW or any of your other indie promotions. If they're on these streaming sites, go ahead and check them out, because a lot of times there are certain moments that you'll never catch anywhere but those promotions. So Marcello, man, I gotta ask you, man. How's everything going? So you started last year. You did the thing last year. You crowned your champions. You have another champion that you're crowning. You're gonna be crowning at um
Hmm.
at Battleground, which is January 29th. And man, you have pretty much an amazing roster, man. Like, whew. But before I get into CCW, I just gotta give the people a little background, man. Like, how did you end up becoming a fan of professional wrestling? Like, what was the match or main event that you saw, or who was that uncle or aunt that pulled you in the room and said, "Hey, come watch this, man. You might like it and whatnot."
Right. For me, my dad got me started in professional wrestling. I was at the age of about 3 or 4 years old. Set me in front of the TV and just that's what it was. Watching NWA and later on moving into WWF because my dad was a big fan of the NWA. Uh, for him it wasn't too quote unquote cartoonish and whatnot. So it started off there, man, and doing moves and playing around with my dad and things like that. It was just one time we were wrestling. We would always wrestle, and it was one time he was just laying, flat on his back watching TV, and I went on the edge of the couch and hit him with a headbutt right in the nose. Surprised I didn't break it. That was a moment that I remember. I mean, So memories like that, man. That's where it all starts. My pops got me started in it, and you know, as I got older, it kind of went away a little bit, and I got back into it. So once that happened, I wanted to go about how am I going to pursue this? How can I do this? So me and Body Snatcher, who played football together, we got with Pat Rose, a former NWA guy, um, and we went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we trained. And it was like literally like 6 months before we even like hit a ring. Like I was like, man, like what are we doing here? Like when are we going to, hit the ropes and do this and do that? But Pat was so old school, like he brought us up that kind of way. You know what I mean? And like later on in our career, as we went on, getting the opportunity for Axel Rotten to take over, the rest of it, like mentor us and kind of like be there for us. And a lot of people, I say this all the time, they think Axel Rotten is just a hardcore kind of guy. Axel Rotten was a genius mind for the business. Like he had a lot up here that a lot of people, man, it'll blow you away. So very fortunate, very thankful that, we had the opportunity to be around, guys like that. And, really fortunate for that, because it helped our careers later on, in our career. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
also,
awesome.
yeah, it's awesome, man. So yeah, man, that's where it all started, and uh, very blessed and fortunate to have the career that D-Line had, with me and Body Snatcher. The match that I remember the most out of all matches, we've been in the ring with the world's greatest tag team and people like that. And you remember those matches, but the one I remember the most is when we went against the Briscoes for the very first time. And that was for the 1CW tag team championship, and it was to crown the first ever champions. And that place was packed. I mean, packed. And that was one night that I never forget because we came away, with that, and also another night is being, you know, um, inducted into the 1CW Hall of Fame as the first class. So a lot of memories and things like that when it comes to Delaware. And what I wanted to do is give back, to where it all started, because we end up going to different places, but you never forget where it started. And that was in Delaware. So when I got this thing up and going, I got in touch with me and Sean Hardy linked up. And then Sean Carlson came in because they're partners, and we sat down and we basically said, hey, look, this is what's what, and came to it, understanding. We thought like, yeah, let's do it. I presented it, and like, yeah, let's do it, and that's what we did. And so, those guys are my guys. You know what I mean? Real recognize real, appreciate it. Them and it's all love here, man. That's what we're doing. We giving back to Delaware and let people know, that we here. We here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congrats on the induction to Delaware Hall of Fame. So I gotta ask, they always say, at the Hall of Fame, one more match, one more match. So I gotta ask you, man, one time for the wrestling culture and the fans and whatnot, especially the fans up in Delaware. Do you think we can see one more just for one night only? The D
Um,
line return and face the current 1CW tag team champions.
you
I'm just
know,
saying
I don't know.
it wouldn't be a bad
We
idea.
might have been talking a little bit. I don't know. And things like that. So you never know. I'm never going to say never, but you never know. But yeah, that'll be interesting. That'd be real interesting. And also, if we got going again to do it against our brothers, the Briscoes. So doing against those guys, Mark and Jay, are literally their family, man. Their family, and I love those guys to death. Um, and I love to get it going with them. And if we decide to come back and do something, I love to get those guys again.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Hey, let me know when the D line merchandise is out, man. I'll go and cop me one. Man. I know if that D-line merch is like the CCW merch, man, hey, let me know. Let me know. Let me get that cash app so I could send it. And speaking of which, you already got an investor. Our good friend Ali Lalani. He's actually here. He actually apparently said he already sponsored the Renegade Twins and Cat Spencer. Ali, you're a smart man. I gotta talk to you about some investments one day, man. Real talk. You say I could tell you got a good mind, for like that finance and whatnot. So but
for
yeah,
anybody, for anybody, man. Also, I mean, the fans have been truly amazing. Not only the fans in Delaware, but just all over the world. The love that we have been receiving is truly amazing. And without the fans, you're nothing. So all the love and everything like that. Got to give a shout out to the fans because they're very supportive. They love us, and we love them back. And got to give a shout out to every single one, every single member, a part of a Capital Championship Wrestling roster because every last one of them, so far that we've been doing this and getting things going, been nothing but bangers, nothing but fire matches, and every last one of them give their blood, their sweat, and their tear, and every last one of them go out there and they say, "Hey, look, we're gonna put on the show. Like we're here to to do what we do." And the matches that they put on, and just fire, just bangers all over. So a lot of history has been made too. In our time, crowning, the our tag team champions, the Renegade Twins, who I'm going to stop and say right here, right now, is the baddest damn tag team on the planet. They up for any kind of challenge, for anybody. I mean, they're tough. They're tough. They're like, I would say it. I don't care. They're like the girl. Well, I don't want to say girl, but the female version of Mark and Jay. Like they're that tough. They bring it. And they just don't care. They don't care. When you meet them anywhere, let's get it. They bring it, and they wear. They represent. CCW and Mission Pro tag team titles well. Around their waist, and they're up for any kind of challenge that come their way. Just some tough individuals. So yeah, they had they're opening everybody. Hey, who won it? Come get it. And that's going to open up a lot of doors for a lot of people to be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to step up to the plate and see what's up. So, but they're ready for it. They're ready for it. To put them on the line anytime and ready to rock. So, they're doing their thing, and then to crown Kylan King, our champion, that night at Legacy was a night to just, both nights crowning, the Renegade Twins as champion and crowning Kylan King, but the passion, the emotion behind the speech at the end of that match. I mean, if you're not getting teary-eyed or anything like that, then you need to check yourself. You must not be human because it was real. Like she bust her behind off for a long period of time, man, and got to now she at the top doing her thing, but it was a grind. She continued to grind. She's a hardworking individual. Outstanding leader in the locker room, and that's one thing that we do have. 1CW, CCW is a great environment. That type of locker room, and I'm very proud of that because we're all for one for all. We're family. So when we do stuff, there's no egos. We out there, and my girls are giving everything they got. So I always give credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? I got to salute every last member on the roster because they're the ones out there giving everything they got and showing people that they are some of the best in the world, So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of they're part of our roster. But we're not crowning the network champion at Battleground. All right, we're building up to that. We released 2 names like Becca and Kayla Sparks, who are going to be entered in the gauntlet match for that championship. So that should be extremely exciting. And a lot of people want it. So yeah, It just is what it is. And the thing is creating opportunities for a lot of different, individuals, for people to see my roster for who they are, some bad people who, I mean, when I say bad, I mean the good bad, like tough individuals to go out there and they give you nothing but banger matches, like bangers. That's all they give. You know what I mean? And you see them for their hard work, their dedication, their love, their passion for the business, and them representing Capital Championship Wrestling, and wearing that badge with honor means just everything to me. Um, and I'm proud of every last one of them. To be honest with you, I'm not even going to front. I'm proud of every last one of them.
Well, I could say this. I'm not surprised at the success of. And Ali, you're probably gonna. Well, first off, Ali has a question. Before I go any further, he's asking pretty much, would you allow male managers for your female wrestlers?
I'm never gonna say never, but we're just gonna keep it, how we got it right now. Yeah, but you never know. Maybe later on down the road that'll be an option. So I'm never gonna say never, but just right now we're just gonna keep doing, how we've
About
been
the
doing.
ladies.
Yeah, yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, good
But
question.
Ali, you probably gonna give a yes, sir, about with what I'm about to say. But I'm not surprised at the hard work that Kylan King and the Renegade Twins and even Kat Spencer do, because those women come from one of the most reputable schools, um, you know, in the country. Probably, I'd even go and say it's in the world, and a school that we enjoy, whose students we enjoy interviewing time and time again, the Nightmare Factory. I've seen some incredible things from those men and women, and even their student showcases are actually, are actually the bomb, pretty much. Like they are, it's some of the best wrestling you'll see, and I highly recommend it. And I'm looking forward to Showcase 5 already. I haven't even seen Showcase 4 properly, and I've seen Showcase 5. And Kayla's actually on here too. Kayla Sparks, Marcello's the man. Yeah, Kayla, you're right.
Kayla.
Kayla, do me a favor. You're one of my favorite wrestlers. You know that, right? I'm not just saying, that's no cap. You're one of my favorites. Okay? But do me a favor. Do your boy a favor. Okay? Check your message. Check the one before that I sent. Let me know what it is and what's up. Okay? Because I can tell you right now, this is the Wrestling Fans Podcast. And we're kind of a pretty cool thing to actually be on. So your boss is on now. So that definitely proves that we're cool. So yeah.
you know, she's so. And to be honest, I know you're talking, but I want to say one thing, because our whole locker room is full with great individuals. But the two nicest people I've ever met in my entire life, like literally, is Kayla Sparks and Will Nightingale. Like literally, what you see is what you get. Like that's who they are. Some outstanding individuals. But and that Kayla's story is extremely incredible alone. What she had to overcome and what she's been through, and make sure you check out her show. I think it's on Roku right now, Up Against
the Ropes.
Yeah. So go make sure you check that out and get a little feel for everything. But she has a heck of a story to tell. All she's been through and what she's overcome is truly inspiring. She's an extremely hard worker and talented, and I'm also very excited to have her part of the team. I like to call her, to be honest with you, the franchise. That's a little nickname that I gave her. But
I would say I used to when I saw Kayla, you're probably gonna kick my butt for saying this whenever you see me. But when I see Kayla, it reminds me of John Cena, another one of my favorite wrestlers. I know that sounds cliche. And the reason why is not because of the physical attributes, but because they have that light that people can't dim. That's why Kayla's one of my favorites. She seems like a person that even if you boo her, she'll be like, whatever, and she will get the job done. And I'm gonna say this right now. Kayla Sparks is one of those women to watch this year and in the coming
Mm.
years. I'm gonna say that she is one of the people. I've barely seen her wrestle, but I already got this vibe that she's gonna be one to watch, and she's gonna
Yeah.
be a huge thing. Just watch and see, and she's doing it all right.
You know, since she's been announced to be in this the network championship, she's been announced, and Becca has been announced as the two members being in the gauntlet match. She's focused, more focused than a lot of people. I mean, this is the focus, more focused than she's ever been. She's very determined and ready to show people, a different side of Kayla Sparks. So you might see a different side of her, that people are not used to seeing, because she's determined to show that she belongs and that she is one of the very best, you know, going right now. So yeah. So be on the lookout for that, and let's see what she can do. She says it's her time, and it's a year of Kayla Sparks. So she's ready.
Awesome. So we got some January 29th,
Yeah,
Sunday, January 29th. Damn you, Vince McMahon. Why did you have to have Royal Rumble on a Saturday? I think he's at the point where he's just being spiteful to actually, like, I think he's trying to look, people, okay, I'm gonna say this one time for the mind, and this is my own opinion. It doesn't reflect Rob Bass or Kathy. I think Vince McMahon is being spiteful at this point. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Because I know WWE fans are gonna crucify me and stone me and whatnot. Yeah, that's just my thing. But CCW Battleground, January 29th. Man, you got a lot of heavy hitters. You announced Kayla Sparks for the Gauntlet and Becca too as well. You got
that's
people
not
like,
happening that night though.
oh yeah, not that night.
Yeah,
But you got people like the up. Matter of fact, let's go through the matches real quick. Actually, some
okay.
of them. You have Megan Bain.
Whew.
Woo. She did it, and the reason why I say woo, not because she's a female. People don't think I'm being a pig. No, I saw Megan Bain when she was first starting. I saw Megan Bain. I don't know if you saw her Marcello as well. You may have.
Yeah,
I saw her when she was actually in OVW,
yeah.
teaming with Maddie Max.
Mhm.
That's where I know. That's where I know her from. And
Mm.
I remember when and when I look at her now, like how she's evolved her character and everything. She went from like pretty much regular human to like, all goddess body, like whole evolve, like goddess warrior. That's the kind of vibe I get, and I'm like, wow, Megan Bain is definitely showing them um what it is and what's up
Yeah,
being OVW, and you
she's a
got her
beast.
going.
She's a beast, man. Like for real, like a beast. Like man, and she doesn't play around. Like I mean, she's whew, man. Yeah, she's a beast. That's all I can say.
Yeah, she definitely does not like. Looks like one that does not play around, and she's going to be going up against Rebecca Scott.
Yeah, Rebecca.
That's
See,
this
don't
match.
let don't let the size fool you, because Rebecca is extremely talented. You know what I mean? And Rebecca's always up for a good fight. So the one thing that I like about Rebecca Scott is she doesn't care who's in front of her. She might not be the biggest or the strongest, but she's down for a fight, and she's ready to go. So that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say Rebecca has the heart of a Wolverine? Because they say the Wolverine. I
Mm.
forgot what I forgot what movie it was. They're like, you know why the Wolverine is such a cool animal? Because he doesn't give a damn.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
look at it. These
yeah,
dudes fighting lions and so on. So it's like,
yeah. I would say that absolutely, absolutely, and people will see that that side of her. I mean, she just doesn't care. It is what it is, and she's just not intimidated. Like whoever you put up against her, okay, let's go. She's that type of warrior, and that's what I love about her.
yeah, that's definitely gonna be a match to watch. And
Mm-hmm.
then so it's pretty much gonna be an all-out battle there. And another one we have is Kaya Dream, young up-and-comer, who's been making a name for herself in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And if memory serves me correctly, she's also 1/4 of Culture Inc., which is
Yes.
popular down there. As a matter of fact, they just won the Reality of Wrestling tag team titles over in Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah.
And going up against the notorious Mimi, who's been making a name for herself on AEW as well.
That match alone right there, I mean, people are ready for round 2 because round 1, if they thought round 1 was fire, just wait until you get a taste of round 2 because, they respect each other. They're extremely competitive. But Mimi is just said it, at Legacy Show. She can't go out like that. It's her job to prove that she's one of the best, and she wants another shot at Kaya. And like I said, they respect each other, but they're competitors. And this match is going to be outstanding. On title match alone, it's well over 100-something thousand views. So people are waiting and anticipating for that matchup.
That's definitely gonna be a serious one.
Yeah.
I've been looking at Kaya, and she's definitely been one of those names to look at as well too. And then of course we also have another one. We have the CCW. There's a four corners match, four corners gauntlet.
Survivor.
Four corner, yeah. My apologies.
Yeah,
Four corner survival match.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Miranda Alizé, Kimberly, Christina Marie, and Willow Nightingale. Those are the contenders, and it'll be for the number 1 contender for the CCW championship.
Yeah.
So we have 2 women here who are actually in the first running to be crowned CCW champion. Unfortunately, they were unsuccessful, but now they're getting a second chance.
Yeah.
To actually, for another shot at that title and become champion.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Murchello, that is gonna be it's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now. Well, Miranda Alizé, she's a top-notch competitor. I saw her against Roxy. Homegirl could go. If she had another chance at Roxy, it would be a wrap for that title.
Miranda's coming in already saying what she's going to do. She's going to say that she's going to become the CCW champion. She says she's going to become the network champion. Like, she's claiming everything, like, off the gate. And she's coming into this tournament. I mean, she's not tournament. I'm sorry. Coming into this four corner survival match is like, everybody better bring, because I know I'm coming to bring it. But everybody in that match are the ultimate competitors. And Kimberly's resume speaks for itself. Willow Nightingale resume speaks for itself. Christina Marie's resume speaks for itself. So this is going to be an all-out war to see who who's going to get that number 1 contender spot. So it's going to be some hard-hitting, outstanding, unbelievable, mind-blowing wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, even Diamond Sheik is actually offering to manage some of the talent at CCW Mission Pro. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Murchello, that guy, you might want to talk to that guy. He's a good guy. He's another one of my favorite wrestlers too, actually, Diamond Sheik. Okay. And he's let's just say he could be the Ted DiBiase to your promotion. By the way, just so I know, no disrespect, Murchello, for those of y'all that are also watching, we have a double shot. Diamond Sheik's going to be on our show after this one, so yeah, stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
But yeah,
one thing I gotta say, because I don't want to leave out, and I mentioned every single last person on our roster, right? I mentioned everybody, but I got to give a shout out to also to our referees, To everybody, our sound crew, everybody who set up the ring, just everybody, huge shout out I got to give to is Alyssa Marino and Ella J. They're the co-hosts of In and Out the Locker Room, which is our podcast show. Amazing, amazing individuals. I like to call them the A-team. They're extremely hardworking. They're at it. They're at it. And also, I don't want to leave out, our ring announcers as well. So with me, I got to give love and credit where credit's due from my roster, from everybody's a part of our family, from the ring crew to people who set up the ring to everybody in that locker room, Sean Hardy, Sean Carlson, everybody, like everybody, you know what I mean, is all love and respect. And I appreciate every last one of them. Also, I don't know if a lot of people know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this, but Kylan King on January 29th will be defending the CCW championship at Mission Pro Crazy Train.
Woo, man, that's going to be crazy. So I gotta ask,
do you know who she's going against?
No. Oh wait. Natalia Markova.
So
that's going to be a test.
It is going. I mean, both individuals, bring it. It's our first title defense, and it's definitely not an easy one. It's definitely not an easy one. But the King is ready. A lot of people during that tournament saw a side of the King that they didn't really see before. She quote unquote unleashed the beast, and she's always ready for a challenge. So her first title defense, is at Mission Pro. So make sure you keep an eye on that. She will be defending at Mission Pro, and is going to be a banger along with everything else they got going on over there as well.
And also another fun fact, I can't help but, and Murchello, no offense, bro, yeah. I can't help but. So for those of you that don't know, right, there are actually two CCWs. There's Capital Championship Wrestling, and there's Coastal Championship Wrestling in South Florida. For all my South Florida fans, y'all know about CCW. You cannot be in Fort Lauderdale and Miami and not know about CCW. And Kylan is actually the champion, the women's champion for both those organizations. So it's crazy how I'm trying to find some nickname. I think there could be some nickname for her doing that. There has to be. But she has the titles for both the CCW of the South and CCW in the North. So, and I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little crazy right there. But I want to bring it back a little bit, if I can, to if you haven't had an opportunity to catch on Mission Pro's YouTube channel to see Ella J and Alyssa Marino on that show. It was a heck of a show. Us collabing and talking about some good things that both parties got going on and everything like that. So there's a lot of exciting things to come, for CCW. And so, just definitely be on the lookout for that. It just keeps unraveling. A lot of great things to come.
Yeah. I know we don't do this. I know we don't break the fourth wall, but Kathy, why are you in the chat? You could be on the show. You know what you got to do. Stop acting like you're out there. Oh, I can't get in. Please let me in, Remy. And get over here if you want. I don't know why her and Rob always, they make it seem like I'm the Vince McMahon. I keep telling y'all, I have an open door policy. I'm not like that. If you want to come on, all you got to do is open the door and come on through. There's no forbidden doors. We never had one. Okay? So whenever you're ready, Kathy, you know what to do. Okay? Jeez. I don't know why.
Come on, Kathy. Come on.
Do Ella and Alyssa put you through this? Because she causes a lot of jeez.
I don't want to get into that mix because I don't want to get in trouble. But no, Ella and Alyssa are I mean, they're grinders, bro. Like legit grinders. Like
Yeah.
they are extremely hardworking. I'm very honored and happy to have them a part of CCW. They work extremely hard, and speaking of that, In and Out of Locker Room is on, Apple and Spotify and things like that, and it's doing extremely well. Thanks to those two, leading the ship and doing what they do best. Like I say, um, they're amazing, man. They're amazing. I'm very proud of them and what they continue to do and everything like that. They're also the commentating group, so they're a jack of all trades, and very very grateful to have them. Part of the team, man. I know I say that a lot, but it's like I'm being like dead serious. Like I'm very for all my roster and everybody involved with CCW. I'm beyond grateful for that. You never know what you're gonna see at CCW. You could see, let's see, maybe Holiday coming to CCW defending the Mission Pro Championship. You may see, I don't know, let's say Thunder Rosa come to CCW. You just never know. You never know. And I gotta give a shout out, again to Mission Pro and all they done. We're part of the title match, family and stuff like that. And for Colin Keane to defend the title at Mission Pro is truly on the 29th is truly amazing. So I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, man, I'm happy and I'm thankful for CCW and what Mission Pro got going on. So
Yeah, you got a good one with you got a good team with Ella and Alyssa. Alyssa,
Ooh.
if you're seeing this, I understand that you like to eat cereal. I like to eat cereal too. So does Rob Base. So does
the,
Kathy Knight. I
the
got the
queen of cereal.
I got the s'more cereal. I got the honey nut Cheerios. I got the cinnamon
Oh,
toast. Let's eat some cereal, girl.
there
Come
you
on,
go.
let's eat for me.
There you
You
go.
know, I always tell people, I'm like, we don't mind if it's to other podcasts. We even like big up like other podcasts as well because I tell
Yeah.
them I do it too as well. And it's like eating a different type of cereal every day. I mean, one minute you
Yeah.
might have some frosted flakes, another minute you might have some Count Chocula or some Wheaties or something. Variety is good. So then when I saw Alyssa, I'm like, oh, she likes to eat cereal too. Okay, all right. You know,
Yeah.
um, let's make an interview happen. You know what I'm saying? I got my cereal bowl. I got my cereal. What's up? But
Hey, you getting it all in tonight. You getting it all in. I don't blame you. I don't
yeah,
blame you. I can't blame
but
you at all, man. But
LJ,
I'm excited about the 29th, bro. Like
yeah,
each show I look forward to because here's the thing. If you're in Delaware, you might as well, stop by, come check it out. You got 1CW, CCW, you getting two shows for the price of one. I mean, wow. So yeah, definitely come check it out. We're bringing a lot of great things to the table. So check out, CCW, 1CW that night, man. And trust me, you won't be disappointed. You'll love everything you see.
yeah, man. I'm gonna make one of those shows one of these days. Definitely gonna make it.
Come
And you
on,
also
man.
got
You gotta make it to a show. You gotta see this. You gotta see it. You gotta be live. You gotta be there, man. Like we want you to come there. And I'm talking for Sean Hardy, Sean Carson, and me. Like we telling you, we need to get you there, man. You need to come and see how we do things. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get out there soon. I'm gonna definitely get there soon. But you
Okay.
also got you also got Ella J. You also got Ella J on your show
Yeah.
as well. And I was like, she's she's one of the people that works hard, and I would recommend her to any women's promotion. As a matter of fact, I keep telling her every time, like, Ella, I hope you get hired. I hope somebody picks you. I hope WWE picks you up because she has, and this is something that I saw. When she says she is a women's wrestling podcast, she is, because it's not
That's
just
facts.
because
That's
it's not
facts.
just, yeah, it's not just female wrestlers like all over, the country, the US of A, but all over the world. I mean, I'm talking like
Yeah.
Finland, England, Australia. I'm like, geez, this girl is really serious, man. Like,
Yeah. She gets it in, man. I mean, sometimes I look at her and Alyssa and I'm like, man, I thought I was busy. Like, how do y'all juggle all of this stuff? But they're able to make it happen. They always deliver, like always. You know what I mean? And to have them, with a part of CCW, and they're doing their thing and continue to do their thing. Um, Man, they set the bar really high. You know what I mean? So I can't complain. Like if I think I'm having a crazy, crucial busy day, I can just look over at them like, nah, I'm good. Because their day, they're busy. They're busy, but they always find time and they get it in, and they're warriors. They're grinders, man. They're grinders. I love them to death. They're grinders.
yeah, man. And that's a great thing. When you have people that are willing to support your vision and
Mhm.
are willing to grind for you, that's a great thing. Like,
Right.
and that's how it is with me and Kathy and Rob. And
Yeah.
speaking of, Kathy's gonna live very very long. Here she is, our other co-host,
What
Louisiana's
up?
Kathy Knight.
What's up?
How are you?
Remy's very demanding. He was like, "Come on the camera." I was like, "No."
Well, I'm
No.
glad
People,
you joined, man. I'm so happy you were able to join.
before anybody paints me as the bad guy, I said, Kathy, you are a women's wrestling fan. We have the owner of an all women's promotion, as the guy on TikTok would do.
Well, I have, we all have jobs, and I just came home, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Hey, but you know what? You made it happen.
Yep,
You
I'm
made it
here.
happen. So much love to you. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you for
Yes.
thank you, like I said in the chat, thank you for making CCW, like that's awesome, another all women's promotion. So hats off to you.
Well,
And
I appreciate you.
I love the Mission Pro interaction too. And I know you're gonna have Killer Kate. A lot of people that I've seen, going to Texas. I live in Louisiana, so a lot of people going over there. That's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
In Rob's neck of the woods and Remy's too. So they're always jealous about me going places, and now they get to go, and I get to be jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talented. Another outstanding talent, Killer Kate. And so very excited, man. Very exciting time. And thank you, so much for being, very supportive of women's wrestling in general, but Capital Championship Wrestling. That means a lot. Um, and a lot of people are starting to see these women, their hard work and the matches they put on, how you're supposed to see it, and not seeing them for eye candy. You know what I'm saying? Like they can go. So when you look at their matches and stuff like that, you're like, oh wow, like truly amazing. I mean, extremely athletic, and a lot of talent, man. So I mean, you think about it, from Willow Nightingale, Miranda Alizé, Kimberly, the Renegade Twins, Kylan King, and the list just goes. Masha Slamovich, it goes on and on and on. To have those women a part of your family is truly an honor. Along with everybody else. I don't want to. Could I be here all night if I named the whole roster? So I'm just saying stuff top of the dome. So everybody.
But
Yeah,
the thing,
actually today, 3 years ago, was when I first started going to see independent wrestling, especially the women. I went to Roll on the Rise in Texas City,
Okay.
and that was the first time I actually saw Killer Kate and Miranda Alizé in action. So today was 3 years ago. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still go. I drive the 4 hours there, go to the show, drive the 4 hours back to Louisiana for all like yeah, I support all those women, and that was 3 years ago today.
Wow. So you
Yeah,
do that because of the love of the business, but not only love of the business, but to support women's wrestling. You
yeah,
travel basically. So you said 4 hours here, 4 hours back.
yeah,
So 8 hours.
yep.
So you know
In
what?
one
This is what
one
I'm gonna do.
day.
So if I had a hat, I'd go like this, but I don't have. I would say thank you. That's love. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure you get a CCW T-shirt and hoodie.
Oh, awesome! Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? That's love. So yeah, even though it wasn't CCW, show or CW show, but I gotta give credit where credit. That's love. So
Yeah.
I gotta hook you up.
So it started. I'm a big Paige fan, so like back history, big Paige fan, and her mom, Saraya Knight, was at that Row on the Rise show. So I was going for her, and then when I saw, Insidious one was there, Roxy, Rachel Rose, a lot of people. I still go now. I'm like, man, Hyon was there, Killer
Oh
Kate,
yeah.
Miranda Alizé, Mercedes Martinez was there, Shotzi Blackheart was there, Rachel Ellering, Kylie Ray. The list goes on and on. And I was like, man, was just blown away. And I was like, I am going to keep going as long as I can to support these women. And 3 years later, I still go.
Man, that is a true fan. Wow. I have nothing but respect all day, every day, and I'm definitely gonna make sure you get some CCW all day, every day. So salute.
Yeah, you know what? I salute you too, because if I could go over there, I'd go over there too.
Well, thank you. To me, like it started with a vision, and I'm a grinder and things like that. I wanted to make it happen, and I sat down, like I said before, with Sean Hardy, and me and Sean Hardy and Carlson got together. We talked about a couple things. We made it happen, and it's a grind. It's a grind, but to see people respect women's wrestling for what it is the reward. To see all of that happen and a lot of things unfold. That's your reward, right? So it's a I'm very happy and excited. A lot of stuff has happened so quick, and things like that for Capital Championship Wrestling, and I'm I'm enjoying the ride, and of course you got to thank all the people along the way, everybody, and Thunder Rosa and Brian Rose. So for us, working together and things like that. So just excited what the future holds. Title match for Matt Love and shout out, who's always supportive of both. For believing in the product and putting it out there and things like that. So me, I don't forget anything. I got to give credit where credit's due, especially to podcasts such as you guys podcast for the hard work you guys do, interviewing wrestlers and keeping up to date and what's going on. That's just love.
I have to say too, thank you for another one that I saw, 3 years ago was Heather Monroe. And you pulled some strings and you got her on our show. Like I've been talking to her in person and I was like, when can we have you on the show? And she's like, man, I don't know. I'm always busy. And we were talking about, weekends because I work during the week. And for you to get, blonde force trauma for us, that was pretty awesome.
No,
so thank you.
No problem. I mean, they are extremely busy. But for, I'm glad that they were able to come on.
Y'all are both awesome because I mean, Kathy's over here like being all like, modest and what. You know what she's done for this show? Thunder. I'm gonna put you out there, Kathy. No, I'm gonna put you out there right now. Yeah. Kathy's got Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, she busy. She got us Thunder Rosa. She got us. The Insidious Sid Mars. That first interview, that was her. She pulled those strings. Who else was it? I'm gonna put you out there. Hold on. You think I'm playing with you, Kathy? Paige's mom, Saraya Knight. Wow. That interview, that was her. That wasn't me. That was all her.
Wow.
Oh, here's another fun one that's coming up. AQA. That was her.
Round two. I mean, she's coming back for round two. This Sunday.
She's not
Another
playing.
one I saw. That's another one I saw 3 years ago. She was actually getting signed to Shimmer that night. Booker T came in the ring and was like, "You know what? We're gonna sign you to Shimmer because it was Row on the Rise was Rise and Row together, which they also had Shimmer too that night. So they're like, we're gonna sign you to Shimmer, and then now she was in NXT. That was her last stint,
Yeah,
and she's back at Row. She's back home. So we're gonna talk to her this Sunday again. Looking forward to that one too.
Yeah,
oh,
she.
you a,
Oh, she got it.
you a
She got
hard
this
work
right.
as well, man.
Well, I'm not humble bragging or anything like what Remy was saying, but yeah, I go to these shows, talk to, I make friendships with all these wrestlers, and it's pretty
Sure.
cool. And a lot of the times I pinch myself. I'm like, man, I actually did that. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I've
Wow.
been
That's awesome.
trying. I've been trying to get MPW, VWR. Hell, I'm even trying to get. Hey, if for some reason Ella J and Samira, y'all got room for a third commentator, by all means, you're free to take her. I'm cool with it. Because I'm like, I told her and Rob, I'm like, look, when y'all are on this podcast, and I'm gonna say it right now because I'm gonna keep it real. If y'all ever have to grow from this, if you have to grow, go ahead and grow and keep moving. Rob started on here as just a podcaster. Now he's a referee for 1CW.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Kathy, she's like, if y'all ever need a camera person, I'm like, hey, y'all can take her if you want. I'm cool with it. If you need a
It's
commentator, she
it's
has a bachelor's
all
in broadcasting. So hey, you know, they could take her, man. I mean, I don't mind.
we're all
You know,
about, uplifting people in general, but especially women. Whatever we got to do, we're all about that. Our doors are always open. We're open arms, and that we create a family atmosphere here. You know what I mean at CCW. So that's what we're about. And so I always practice what I preach. You got to practice what you preach. You know what I'm saying, to stay true to my word. So your word is everything.
but that's so you guys you're pretty much cool with Mission Pro.
Mhm.
Would it do you think in the near future we could possibly see MPW and a CCW collaboration?
Whew.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure right now Ryan Romano is actually thinking that same thing that I just asked.
Whew. That I tell you what, that's bangers all day, every day. um, hey, the sky's the limit. Yeah, you never know. You just never know. What's going to happen next. But I say, our relationship right now is really, really good, like really good. Uh, Thunder Rose and her team are all about uplifting and impacting and inspiring, women around the world, and we're about the same thing. And we just see a lot of eye to eye, a lot of things in common. So you never know. Like I said, we keep in mind, the Renegade Twins are the tag team champions at both. Mission Pro and CCW. Colin Kane is also one who works, at Mission Pro. So we share a good amount of talent together. You know what I mean? But we're always, I think we're cheering not because we're part of the title match fam. I mean, yeah, that's a huge part, but we're cheering for each other to be, extremely successful and to continue to do what we're doing as far as like uplifting and empowering and women's professional wrestling. So, you know, you never know.
Conroe's not that far from me, so that's another 4-hour trip. So I've been wanting to go to Mission Pro. I haven't gone to a show yet, but it's definitely on my bucket list. Something I want to do.
Oh, hey, I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely put that down because, like I said before, and I'm not just saying this because we're teamed up or whatever, but you know, bangers. If you want to see bangers on top of bangers, and if you can see it live, and if you're in the Texas area, uh, why not slide through and check out Mission Pro, uh, or if you're in the Delaware area, and if you want to see bangers, why not slide through? Capital Championship Wrestling. And also, you can see 1CW. So, really, you purchase one ticket, you see 2 shows. It's a win-win situation.
Oh yeah. I'm also go a step further and say this: for those of y'all that are wrestling fans and work for those airlines, why not go and see both? I mean, not the same night, but I mean, y'all know y'all got them buddy passes. You know you could fly all over the country, if not all over the world. Why not fly to Delaware one day and fly to Texas one day? I used to work for. I trust me. I used to work for one of those airlines before. Trust me. Don't act like y'all can't do it. I've done it before actually for
Yeah.
BWS in the day. So back
So
up in Jersey.
yeah, I mean that'll be what's up. I mean, we have some great fans. We had one particular individual who traveled from South Carolina to Delaware. To see Renegade Twins and Kylan King, Kayla Sparks, and things like that, and just fan of the game. So we having people from the DC, Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, places like that, New York, New Jersey, are starting to all kind of like, let me see what's going on, and they're starting to make that trip, and for them to come that far and pay their hard work and money just to see and the show, and also be there to support, is incredible. It's incredible. So that's why I love our fans. I love our fans. I mean, they are nothing but supportive. They're invested. And it means a lot. I think there's a lot of memories that's been created in Capital Championship Wrestling. I think one of the biggest, the coolest thing is where when Colin King, the Renegade Twin, Cat Spencer, Kayla Sparks, when they were leaving the ring, you hear the CCW. That was like, oh, that was a surreal moment, so to speak. You're like, whew, like, wow, that type of thing. So, cool stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is. And like I said, one of these days I'm definitely gonna make it there. I know that I've seen the clips, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta make one of these shows one of these days, man. It's about that time. So I'm gonna definitely make it happen one of these days. But
Yeah.
I know Kathy probably has a couple questions for you as well.
Sure.
Kathy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, just kind of winging it. So,
Sure.
who would you want to walk through CCW that hasn't been there yet?
Ooh, that's a great question. Um, Holiday, Thunder Rosa. Um, wow, that's a great Roxy. Wow. And those are the ones I can name like off my head, right? High end, off of my head, like right now, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, but when it comes to right quick, if you want something quick, the first thing that comes to mind are those individuals.
I've seen all of them in person, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, if I sit here because I just had a light bulb go, all night, and I just go, brrr, people are like, oh my god, like, dude, relax. So yeah, the list just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I've seen all of those people in person. Actually, they're pretty awesome. Roxy kicks me in the shins, like Orange Cassidy style. She loves to do that. So.
Oh man.
That started at so the first time she's done it 4 times now. The first time she did it was her and Richard Rose did it together. They kicked me one in each shin, and that was at a show at Reality of Wrestling. And then it got to where so Roxy was at the shows that I was at, but Rachel wasn't there. So she kind of took it over and she kicked me. So it's like 4 times so far. Mm-hmm. She's kicked me in the shins, Orange Cassidy style. So we have that going for each other. That's pretty funny. And the last show, she was at, she wrestled Gino, and that was at Lone Star 2 for New Texas Pro. And that was actually one of the coolest things that I was ever a part of. So after the show, after the match, she got some flowers. They gave her flowers. You know, Gino gave her flowers, and because we don't know where she's gonna be, she could be in WWE, she could be anywhere at this point. But you know, you give flowers when they're due. You know, you don't give them to them when they pass away or when they leave.
Facts.
You
Yes.
give them their flowers, and she got her flowers that night. And I've been a fan of wrestling for 36 years now. Started watching when I was 4. I'm gonna give my age. I'm 40.
Oh, good.
And well, thank you. And yeah, I probably look like about 18, I guess, but yeah, I'm 40. And that was one of the coolest things I was ever a part of. So yeah, she got her flowers in the ring, and the wrestlers came out of the, you know, in the back of the locker room, and they started banging on the mat. And then you see, like, I was front row too, so like the other side, you see like the fans come and they bang the mat. So I did it too. Like we all went to the mat and started banging on it for Roxy, and she's standing there with her flowers, like trying not to ugly cry. You know, it was so emotional. It was so cool. But like we banged on the mat, chanted Roxy, and she went out that day. But after the show, she was, you know, we all go talk. We stay there and we talk to the wrestlers. And she's like, "Hey, can I kick you in the shins again?" She actually asked me to kick. You know, she wanted to kick me in the shins, and I was like, "Wow, that's so cool!" Like the Ring of Honor Women's Champion wants to kick me in the shins one more time.
Yeah.
She was Ring of Honor. She was still a champion then, you know, before Impact, where she lost it to Diona. But that was pretty cool. Like
Right.
it sometimes I pinch myself. I was like, this is pretty awesome. I was like, I have a cool life sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, so another name that I know I'm going way back that popped in my head real quick. You say who I want to see come to the doors of CCW. Um, Trisha Dora, who will be there soon.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to see
Yeah.
her too for she wrestled for New Texas Pro, and I got
Mhm.
to see her for the first time. She's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. Oh, she brings it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, here's a little test I want to see from you, Kathy. So let's see if you can do it. It's nothing hard. It's nothing hard. So right now, actually, I would say who was the champion at Mission Pro before Holiday?
I know this, but I
Yeah,
can't think
you
right
know it.
now.
You know it, Remy?
Who was the champion for Harlem? That's a
Huh?
Yeah,
trick question.
No,
Holiday's
it's
the
not
champion
because remember
now.
at that show you end up bumping into this individual and you said, "Hey, introducing yourself. Who's over there that
I know it's two people, but it's a trick question.
who is it? Like name the two people.
Jasmine Allure, La Rosa Negra.
Yes, it was La Rosa Negra. She was champion. I
The
had a brain
most
fart.
I would say right now, the most, and it's crazy how I think that she's underrated. Like she can go. Like you talking about talent, that's talent. You know what I mean? She's extremely talented. Nothing against anybody else, but I just always thought that she was just underrated. And many things that she's done, and she's had one hell of a career. And she's just starting to get what she's due. Extremely talented. So yeah, good one.
And she's
Who are
humble.
the
She's
huh?
humble as heck. She is
Yeah.
humble as,
Okay.
like, when I was stationed in Japan, like she actually messaged me over there. And this is La Rosa Negra who's wrestled all over the world. And she's like, "Are you coming to the show in New York?" And I'm like, and at that time I was like on my last month of on tour in Japan. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in town at the time. Yeah, I'll check it out." And when I walked there, she actually remembered who I was. And granted, I hadn't seen La Rosa Negra in almost, like, I'd say at that time, what was that, 2019? In like pretty much 5 years. Because the last time I saw her was right before I joined the Navy. And now here I am stationed back in America, and she actually remembers me after all that time. So that was crazy.
Real recognize real, right? Yeah, real people,
Yep.
real recognize real. So this is an easy one, Kat. This is a very easy one. All right, who is Capital Championship Wrestling champions?
So the Renegade Twins are the tag team champions, and Kylan King is the women's champion.
Ah, look at you.
Which
See,
we've had all of them on the show, and we've had Jasmine on the show, and La Rosa Negra too.
see that. Flex on them.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Big Ringside Society family over there.
Hey, man, that's what's up.
We're working on Holiday. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking. So we have had Thunder Rosa on our. Because technically we're 9. We also celebrate another anniversary as of becoming a podcast on March 31st. So I'm thinking we've had Thunder Rosa for our first anniversary. We had Anakin Rosa for our second one. Maybe I'll have her sister, Anakin's aunt, Holiday, for our third one. I'm thinking.
Hey,
thinking about.
Work that magic, man. You always make it happen. You guys always make it happen. So why not?
You got a few people that can work that magic.
There you go.
I've seen Holiday in person. I've met her, took pictures with her. She might say yes. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's I love what you guys are doing. You guys are different, and you know the whole thing about it is you can be any type of company. Anybody can have a podcast and call themselves a podcast, right? Just like anybody can have a professional wrestling company and call themselves a company, right? But what makes you different? You know what I mean? Like you're different in your own way. Like and I would say for us and 1CW and Mission Pro, the family atmosphere that we go by and what we do, and even title match. You know what I mean? Title match is all family. So they've been really, really great, to us. And I know they've been great to Mission Pro and everybody else. So it's just, what you got to be different than everybody else. Like, I don't care about what this person's doing, that person's doing. I never been like interested in anything like that. The whole thing is people say, oh, I'm naturally competitive. I think anybody is, right? You're competitive. That's what you are. That's what you do. But to be honest with you, the person I'm competing with is the person I'm looking in the mirror that's looking back at me. That's the person I'm competing with. How can I be better than I was, yesterday? Always trying to strive, to be better than what you were. And I surround myself with people who are like-minded, people who are go-getters, people who are, that has your best interest. So, I highly, really believe in that. And so, Remy, I got to give you a lot of, credit, as well. Because I talked, to you a good amount of times about some different stuff. I mean, you're very supportive. I mean, all of you guys are, but you're very supportive. You're very uplifting. And, I really appreciate that. If you notice, I'm the type of dude, I wear my emotions on my sleeve because, Kathy, you said something really important. You give people their flowers while they're here. So if you don't know how I feel, but let's say me and Kathy was extremely tight, right? And I'm like, oh, Kathy, I never told her how I felt or wish or how good she does or whatever like that. No, knock on wood and nothing happens. But, let's say if something was to happen and I'm looking at myself like, damn, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say that? Like a wise man once told me, try to live life with no regrets. Try to live life with no regrets. So I make it a point I know that tomorrow's not promised, and I make it a point to definitely give people their flowers, while I'm here or while they're here as well. So I think that was a very aha moment, that you brought up, Kathy, as Oprah would say.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've tweeted that exact same thing. Like, tell people how you feel about them because they might not be there tomorrow. And it doesn't have to be like a relation, boyfriend, girlfriend, that type of thing, or
Sure.
that kind of like friends. Tell them, hey,
Right.
you're awesome. Prop them up. It's probably the best thing you're gonna do, and they need to hear it.
That little thing can change somebody's, world. It can
Yeah,
change somebody's whole day, and somebody might have had a terrible day, but by you, giving them that call or that text and saying something that you think is so little, but to them, it's everything. You never know. You might have saved somebody's life, by just saying something, to uplift them and just be there for them. So, yeah, I'm highly on that. Absolutely. Just, giving people their flowers while they're here, you know.
And
So,
that's why I created this podcast. Um, Not just like I said, we don't clout chase here. Kathy and Rob can tell you, I hate clout chasers. I have no. I mean, I don't say hate, but I dislike clout chasers, and that's not the energy that I have. When I started this, it wasn't about me. It was about giving people their flowers, giving people a platform like yourself, like Brian Cervantes, like Jeremiah Wilkerson of Mission Pro, like Scott Bruce of Vixen Wrestling Revolution, their flowers. That is, that is, a platform where they could tell their story about who they are and how they got into this and what their aim is, et cetera, et cetera. And we've actually, in the almost 3 years that we've been doing this, we've heard so many great stories. We've actually had people that have never even had anybody approach them and say, "Hey, we want to have you on a podcast." And we've been the first for several people. And that wasn't even our aim. Our aim was just to like say, "Hey, we don't care if you made it. We don't care if you make it WWE or not, or AEW or not, or any of the big leagues. But the fact that you get into the ring and you put on a show for us, we want to have you on our show. We want to hear your story. We want to give you your flowers. Yeah, you're just starting out, but heck, we'll give it to you anyways. Like you said, tomorrow may not be promised. Tomorrow, and we know wrestling is a sport where if you don't know what you do, you could injure yourself or your opponent. Or life could happen where you have to stop wrestling to take care of a family member. So we say, hey, give them their flowers while they're doing it right now.
right.
You know, that's why I started. And then there's also those fans that have continuously shown their dedication as well. That's where our 15 minutes of fandom segment comes in, where you have people like, for example, the crying CM Punk fan. When I saw that guy, I was like, who is that guy? I want to find that guy. Somebody let us know. We want to find him and give him his flowers, because that guy represented how all of us felt that night
Right.
when we saw CM Punk come back. We had several people like, for example, Scooby Doo, our good friend Lalani. He was another guy that we saw at AEW. People were saying, "Yeah, this guy," and it was a mixture of like, it was mostly like comments like, "The guy in the Scooby Doo uniform is having a good time." Da, 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 da. But how my mind was thinking was, that guy's got my attention. I want to see what his story is. What is his story? How he told his story, and then come to find out, and this is how you see one positive action lead to so many. When I interviewed him, and those of you that have been watching us for a long time, you're probably bored to death with the story. When we interviewed him, there was three brothers. There's three of them that actually watch wrestling. Him and his two other brothers. The elder
Mhm.
brother, we said, "Hey, we want to have your elder brother on the show." We couldn't get the other one for some reason. We're still gonna try, but we got another brother on there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm also a wrestling fan too. We all of us used to go to wrestling shows and so on." And then next thing you know, several months later, he sends us a message saying that he's going to be training at the Nightmare Factory. So I'm like, okay, awesome. All the
Mhm.
best to you. Congratulations. Whenever you graduate, let us know. And whenever you have your first match, let us know. We'll have you on the show as a main guest. So lo and behold, he sends us a video montage of him training and practicing moves in the ring and so on. I'm like, awesome. We're waiting for you. There's a spot. There's a episode with your name on it whenever you're ready.
Mhm.
Boom. Next thing you know, he sends us a whole photograph of him with the graduating class of the Nightmare Factory, class 2. Next thing, who was that? Who was that person? He was actually just in this chat, the Diamond Sheik. What happens in the next couple of weeks? He debuts on AEW Dark. He also makes an appearance with Cody Rhodes on AEW Dynamite. Dynamite when he's with a bunch of students walking with Cody Rhodes to the ring. Another interesting fact: the Dynamite Diamond ring that MJF recently won, that was his business that crafted that diamond ring. So all it took was just one positive move with positive energy, and just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I want to know what your story is," to all of that happening.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what I like. That makes you different. You know what I mean? Because you don't only, like you said, interview, wrestlers. You interview, parents, aunts, uncles, fans, referees,
Yeah,
the whole nine. And I think that's damn amazing. Because everybody matters. Who plays a huge part in something. Someone's career. They matter. So that's awesome. That's awesome, man. For real.
yeah, and it's always good intent. And I tell people, I'm like, when I first started, I wanted it to be something that fans get excited to listen to, because I know there's a lot of podcasts out there. You got how many other podcasts? But I built it. I want us to build it to where if somebody asks us, well, we have this person has a podcast, that person has a podcast. Why should we listen to yours? Okay, well, we've had several impressive guests. We've had CCW owner Murchello, who hasn't done a podcast interview in a while. Okay, and we've also had Thunder Rosa on our show. We had her son Anakin Rosa on our show. Oh, still not enough? Okay, we interview referees as well too. You think it's easy being a referee? Listen to one of their interviews. They'll tell you. Our own Rob Bass will tell you it's not easy being a referee. We also interview managers. You like that gear that such and such is wearing the other day? We have the person that makes gear like that. We had them on the show. Yeah. Oh, you're a wrestling fan too? You want to talk wrestling? We got 15 minutes of fandom for you right here. When I say that thing that says hashtag we are not the same,
Right.
it's not because it sounds cool, even though it does. It's not because I'm trying to it's not because I'm trying to impress any girls, or in Kathy's case, guys.
Yeah.
No, because we are not the same. We're not like anybody else, and we will continue to prove it through interviews like this, through interviews like Roxy Baruka, who couldn't even speak English, but we were actually able to get somebody to give her a voice in order to tell her story, and that's what we're going to keep doing. And there's no competition. We've never had a forbidden door. We have had numerous podcasters like ourselves on our show, plugging their own shows. No bad energy whatsoever from us. You want to plug your show? Go ahead. Hey, I'm going to watch it next week. Y'all should watch it with me too. And we're going to have them back on for a prediction show. That's just how we are. There is no ill will. There's only one, I can tell you off the top of my head, there's only one person who I have a legitimate gripe with. And it's not even that much of a gripe, but at the same time, it's not like, yeah, I got beat. It's just a case of pretty much, they don't want us promoting on their platform. Okay, we're not gonna let them promote on ours. That's it. And if they want to talk about it, we could talk. No violence, no hard feelings. We could talk. That's it. But we are just, we just try to live good in the wrestling world, and just, be chill with everybody and whatnot. And, we try to be not only just a podcast, but a whole different entity where, okay, for example, now you did our show. Now we're definitely going to promote CCW to the max because, you guys are doing a great thing. Same thing with Vixen Wrestling Revolution. Shout out to Scott Bruce and Emily Taylor and Haley Danielle, and Haley Danielle's another one you should definitely check out too as well. She just started, but I definitely recommend her as well. And
Okay.
there's also versus Pro Wrestling out in Las Vegas, and also Mission Pro and GCW in Florida. I mean, their owners did our shows, so how we repay them is we let people know when their shows are going out, and there's gonna be more promotions joining that too. because we want to eventually become that entity that lets people know, okay, oh, what are you in? Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, this is what's going on in your area. Oh, you're in Tampa, Florida. Okay, y'all got this week. You're in Houston, Delaware. Okay, 29th of January, you got CCW and 1CW. And that's pretty much our aim. That's no competition, nobody whatsoever.
I mean, man, I think that's great. I think that's great. I mean, you say what you mean what you say, and what I mean by that is that you guys are different. You guys are totally different, and that's what it's all about. Like, what makes you? Don't just copy what the next person is doing. Be unique. Be who you are. You know what I mean? And that's awesome because you're trailblazers. You sitting. I think that's setting the bar. For a lot of people and letting them know that, hey man, you can be a family member. Speaking of family members, if you don't mind me say this, I'm going to say this right here, right now. I think who I would be really. I think who would be really good on this show. You ready for this?
Who? Go ahead.
Mama Renegade. So let me tell you something. Mama Renegade keeps it real, 100% real. But also, I'm the most loving, supportive individuals that you can come across. Once you're in her family circle, she'll ride for you, just like her girls, just like Papa Renegade. You know what I'm saying? The whole family is actually might as well have Papa on too. You know what I mean? Let Papa and Mama come on here. And let them tell their story about everything. Because one thing that I noticed, one thing that I noticed is what I respect the most is that there are huge supporters of what their kids are doing. I mean, that is outstanding to have parents that are just so supportive, so in your corner, and they ride with you to the very end. I think that's outstanding, And but like I said before, Mama Renegade is Mama Renegade. You know what I mean? And whoever her girls are going against, she keeps it real. And say, hey, look, we're gonna beat that beep 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 beep. Whatever she's gonna say, she gonna speak her mind. And it is what it is. You like it, you don't like it. Who cares? She don't care. She's a rough rider.
Oh man, this is gonna be a funny area. So I actually had another segment that I was planning to do. Actually, it's still gonna happen. It's just a matter of me getting in touch with our first guest, who is the mother of a current NXT superstar and the wife of a former WWE wrestler as well too. I'm not going to tell y'all that. I'm not going to tell y'all who it is until it actually is all concrete. But let's just say, yeah. By the time I'm done, y'all gonna be like Remy and Kathy and Rob. Y'all are doing big things, and y'all are what else can y'all do next?
You doing big things, man.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't get to my own. Yeah,
but you didn't ask me. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say this right here, right now. I think, and y'all can do what y'all want. Y'all show. I mean, what do you think, Kathy? What do you think about having Mama Renegade on this thing?
Go for it.
I mean, hey,
yeah.
I tried, and she pretty much said, "Nah, we're not doing anything." So,
but you know, I respect it though, because
I asked Papa Renegade,
the girls.
Papa Renegade was like, "We're not wrestlers. Keep on doing your thing." So I will say this: your boy Remy Blue don't chase people. I don't chase people at all. If you say no, no is no. It is what it is. See you on the flip. Thank you for the support.
But I understand why, because at the end of the day, and you know what, I can see where they're coming from. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's about the wrestler. You know what I mean? It's not about them. It's about the support and love that they give their kids, and I respect that to the fullest, because it took me a while to do something like this. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the talent. You know what I mean? So like, I make sure my talent is out there. I make sure you know about them, and and their journeys and their hard work and things like that. Until I came across, well, at the end when at the end of our show, Legacy, I said a speech, and we were talking, and it really all really started with Gabby Ortiz. She kind of really set the tone when it comes to me, doing something like this, because I'm a selfish person. It's about my talent, it's about the brand, and that's what I represent. But she said, if I come out tell my story, how many people that I probably inspire. Being a male, being an African, American, and running an all females promotion and stuff like that. You never know who you can inspire. Male, it doesn't even matter. Somebody can inspire somebody, and so that hit me hard. And I was like, I never thought of it that way. So you're absolutely right. And that's what it's all about: impacting, inspiring, uplifting people, and changing people's lives. For the best. So
because
that's where it all led to this moment.
exactly, and that's why I was glad. I was like, and I always and that's nothing. You never know who you're inspiring. Right now, there might be some black kid,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's watching this and be like, something. If Murchello could do it, I can do it. I can do it too. I don't want to be a wrestler. I don't want to be a referee. I want to be the behind the scenes guy. And I want to do it like Murchello, because Murchello is the same skin as I am. He's the same ethnicity as I am. And that and now this interview that he's done, and seeing him do what he's done with CCW, I want to do what he's doing as well too. And I always tell people, I'm like, the business is changing. It's not the same business as it was 20 years ago. A lot has changed. And I mean, for example, we just had the first we now have I think her name was Pollo Del Mar, the first ever transgender to compete on NWA. 20 years ago, would that have been no?
Right.
We have Sonny Kiss, doing his thing in AEW.
Yes.
We just had a black Bobby Lashley and Big E, two black champions back to back.
Yeah.
20 years ago in WWE, that wouldn't have been a thing, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the business model is heck. Mustafa Ali's Middle Eastern, and he didn't even have a terrorist gimmick. So the business is definitely changing for the better. I mean, granted, there's some parts of it that are kind of, this needs to hurry up and die down too. But the business, for the most part, is changing for the better. So, yeah, man. I mean, I'm very glad that you actually considered us. I mean, I don't consider us the best, but I always could say we're at least one of those podcasts that wrestling fans should definitely listen to as well. And you are a part of the industry. I mean, come on, you're a former 1CW tag team champion, and why not? And if we would interview a Vince McMahon, a Tony Khan, Scott D'Amore, who runs Impact Wrestling, Brett Lauderdale, who's doing big things with GCW now, then why not a Murchello who's running CCW? Why not a Scott Bruce and a Jacob King who are running VWR, and or a Brian Cervantes and a Jeremiah Wilkerson who are actually running Mission Pro, and a Thunder Rosa? Why not? What? Because they're not on screen? No, without these people, the promotion wouldn't even exist. So that's another reason why we're unique, because we give people stories from each angle, especially gear makers. We also had a guy that does entrance themes. Shout out to Squirty LaFlow. We just had we had Squirty LaFlow on our show, who has done numerous entrance themes for wrestlers, all across the country. We had him on the show. So that just goes to prove how serious we are about giving people stories from each, side of the industry. Kathy's insisting on getting catering on. I don't know where she's coming from with that. I mean, come on, Kathy.
They're important too. They feed people. I want to know what they eat. happen one day. I might make it happen. I don't know. But
Oh,
yeah, when
snaps.
oh boy.
Sam, I'm gonna say this right now, buddy. You're a great wrestler, but he might have one more match left in him with the D line. So I really would not tempt this guy to come out of retirement with Body Snatcher and come after you, bro. You're a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I loved your OVW work, but I don't think you want to put this guy in a bad mood. But go ahead, Cass.
I don't respond to stuff like that. It's laughable to me. You know what I mean? I'm all about, I'll hit, Kayla Sparks thing, uplifting and empowering people. So, stuff like that.
There
you just
go.
keep rolling.
Yep.
It is what it is.
That's all you can do.
That doesn't even bother me. I'm a grown ass man. You feel me? So, like, stuff like that just don't faze me. But I will highly suggest not to push that button.
That's teasing. All I'm gonna say. He was teasing. He put the little smiley face with hearts on it.
Yeah, I know. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. The $3 piece. He's teasing. I know. He's messing around and whatnot. But no, he's a good guy. And I know it's all love, and I know he's just teasing and stuff like that. But but for real, I don't. You in this business, you're going to get a lot of different sides of it. You know what I mean? You get the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's been very amazing. Nothing but love, thus far from everyone, and that's been the great part, about everything. So, but no, I know he's playing. I know he's playing. I'm teasing back. I still got that that kind of sense of humor too, so I can tease back at him. It's no big deal. It's love.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, when Remy was talking about that, like we interview everybody, even you don't have to be an Impact or WWE or AEW, but on the same token, we have interviewed people that weren't nobody, but they turned into somebody down the road. And I could probably speak for Remy, where we feel like proud parents, because like we've had Red Velvet on the show before she was in AEW. Now she's in AEW. We've had Thunder Rosa. She's in AEW. She's got Mission Pro. We've interviewed Roxy before she had like the numerous titles she's won. We've had Rachel Rose. Rachel Rose has 4 belts now, 4 titles at the same time. So, and then, Kylan King and the Renegade Twins, they have championship gold too. So it's like, we feel like proud parents.
Hey,
we watch them grow. Yeah. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, and for you guys to still be, supportive of each individual, I think is truly amazing. You still show, those individuals love. Because to you guys, it's not about what you have. I think you hit it on Remy. It's all about telling, someone's story, and everybody has a story. Everyone has a story, no matter what. So, I think that's the interesting part. And so for you guys to allow people to come on your show and give them a platform, whether you're a referee, a parent, announcer, commentator, whatever, everybody has a story.
Yeah, we've had authors too. They write wrestling books. We've had them on the show. We've had pretty much everybody. Yeah, except for catering, because Remy doesn't want to get anybody. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. We've had referees. I remember Isaac from Reality of Wrestling. He's like, I don't know why you guys wanted me on the show, but thanks for having me. It's like, hey, referees are an important part of it. Hey, we'd probably have timekeepers and bell ringers if we could find some. They're all important.
That's why
camera people.
So every little thing you just stole that from me, right? I need everybody besides my cameraman. You know what I mean? And it's not that I did it on purpose, but that's the only one I left off. So I got to go back and give, cameraman love. So, because everybody plays a huge role in what we do.
Yeah.
Everyone.
If your cameraman's down, he's down. We'll have him up. Kathy, we've interviewed a cameraman before. My
Yeah.
friend Chris Cartwright. Chris
Yeah.
Cartwright. Actually, so if your guy wants to come on the show, or gal, I don't know if it's a guy or girl, they're more than
Right.
welcome to come on the show and
Yeah.
shoot the breeze with us, man. I mean,
Well,
I'm down.
I'll pass that message and see about getting that set up because I think it's awesome. So make the magic happen. So with that 4K view that we be getting. So gotta give love.
Yeah, I know how hard that is because I did that. Like, I graduated college with a broadcasting degree. I've held a camera before, and it's not easy. Setting
Wow.
it up, putting the lighting, all that stuff. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Like I say, everyone plays a huge role, and so you can't forget about people. Like so I'm glad I was able to name everyone from announcers to everybody. Part of the magic, so to speak. So
Yeah, we've had Ella J on the show too. She's awesome. She wears so many hats. Like, hats off to her.
man,
She's
whew,
crazy right now, but crazy good. She's crazy
she,
busy.
you
I
know
got to
what?
have him back on the show because
It
he
looks
was a
effortless
podcaster.
to her. It looks effortless to her. Like she's crazy busy, but it's just effortless to her. She's such a phenomenon. Like her and Alyssa, like that's literally, and this is no disrespect to nobody else. That's my A team, man. Like for real. Like they're amazing. They're amazing. You never heard them say it, but I say it.
Yeah, give them their flowers.
Yeah,
We definitely gave them their flowers.
gotta give love. Like I said,
Yeah.
in and out of the locker room is doing outstanding. A lot of love and support on both platforms. Apple and Spotify, and they're the ones who make the magic happen. So all credit got to go to what credit's due. They're killing it.
Yeah, I was even, where we said we're going to interview everybody. When Remy was kind of the booker of another podcast before Ringside Society, and he had me. I was like one of the first 15 minutes of fandom people on the show, but it wasn't 15 minutes of fandom yet. He brought it to his own podcast, but yeah, so he pulled me from the streets.
Hey, that's awesome.
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I was the first ever 15 minutes of fandom person, and then now I'm, helping him with his podcast because he was like, you know what, you have a broadcasting degree, need it, and I carried the show for the most part. Like in the beginning, I was the actual host of the show because he was in Japan. So I was like, yeah, humble beginnings of Ringside Society.
Yeah. So but
I
I'm going to correct you right now because this is something that he will say because he tells me this. Like he would be really mad if you said, his show. He says it's our show because I'm the same way. But he makes sure he corrects you on that and say, it's our show because it's a team effort and he's just somebody who keeps it real and give credit where credit's due. So I respect that.
Yeah, he was kind of behind the scenes. He didn't want to be on camera at the beginning.
Oh, so he was just
he was like a not Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon's been on camera. He was like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
he didn't want to be. And then when he came back to the States, he took over. We're all co-hosts, stuff, but it's his baby, so to speak. So
I wasn't gonna be on at all. Let's go back. So how I met Kathy was all because of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho read one of her tweets, and I was like, what I would normally do this thing where, okay, if somebody gets mentioned, I'd go on Twitter and I'd congratulate them, and if they would actually respond back, I'd add them, I'd follow them because I like talking about, it's good to have somebody on social media that enjoys the same thing that you do. You could talk about them and so on. You could talk with it about them and so on. Like, hey, did you see this last week? And all that. And that was circa 2016. Mm-hmm. And then 2 years later, my good friend George Alonso, who was also my mentor for getting into podcasting. He actually runs SPW as well, Spirit Pro Wrestling. Shout out to them. And he was saying he's going to get back into podcasting, and I'd done such good work for booking for him that he was like, Remy, you ready to do this again? I'm like, yeah, man, let's go. And then I brought up the 15 minutes of fandom concept where, you can have the fans tell their story from their side, stuff that they've experienced and so on. And, and in a way too, you also build a following because now word gets out, you interview fans, more and more people like, they interview fans. I like to be on there. I like to, I've never been on a podcast before. Let's go ahead and give them a follow. Let's hit them up, And, I brought that to him. And then the first person I thought of I was like, let me see. I've been talking back and forth with Kathy. Let me have Kathy on. And then she was on. And then George didn't have a co-host at the time. So he was like, let me, I'm going to have her interview Rory Gulak. So I was listening, and whatnot. And then I was like, she's really good. She's pretty good at doing this. So I was like, all right. And then unfortunately, George decided he was going to retire from podcasting. And the unique thing that got me with Kathy was like, she was still retweeting the same episode weeks, a month, 6 months after. So I'm like, this girl is really excited. And then she also mentioned that if we ever wanted to have her back on, let her know. Or if we ever needed her, let her know. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep that in the back of my mind. And then I had, it was AQA who actually inspired me to get into it because I was like, I should have been interviewing AQA. Let me go ahead and start, Ringside Society. And then boom, I was like, George, you can interview them on my own. You could actually interview them, and I'll just be the behind the scenes guy. And he's like, yeah, but I need a co-host. So I was like, well, Kathy's saying she's actually, if we need her back, let us know. And she was pretty good. Let me go ahead and give her a shot. And then unfortunately, after the first episode, George had to deal with some personal matters. So I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be Kathy because I don't want to get up. One, I was in Japan. By the time the show came out at night, I was already at work, couldn't do it. So I'm like, okay, well, Kathy needs a co-host then. And then we had a couple of people that were on and they left for various reasons. And I did not want to be on because I was like, I suck as a host. I don't have that gusto when it comes to like public speaking and so on. And eventually I was like, one of our other co-hosts, he was like, Paul, he actually was like, come on, stay on if you want. And I'm like, I do feel kind of bad at having them do the legwork. And I mean, this is, it's pretty much a show that I started. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll just, co-host. And then eventually I just stayed on afterwards. And then we had Rob join once, Paul had to leave for personal matters. And yeah, this is how we've been since 2019, the three of us. We might be expanding. For those of y'all that are listening, we are looking for 2 more people that are fluent in Spanish because we're going to be having guests that only speak Spanish. So if you are fluent in Spanish and you're good enough you're so good that you're able to translate it, hit us up, message us, and we'll talk. But yeah, that's our story.
That's great, man. Love it. Still riding together.
Yeah, it was actually this month, 6 years ago. Chris Jericho read my tweet on the highlight reel. He had just returned to WWE, and he was like, "Everybody's talking about my comeback," and they show like Instagram posts and all this other stuff, and then mine pops up, which was a funny story. I was actually sitting right here, like I sit like my computer is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I had my back turned, like the living room's back here with the TV, and I wasn't actually paying attention. I was like, "Oh, Chris Jericho's on, cool." I had my back turned, was doing whatever on the computer, and I hear Blue 70517, and I'm like, "What?" So like I run from the kitchen into the living room, and I see my tweet. It was about the New Day, and Chris Jericho had said, the New Day was Rudy Tooty Booty, and I hadn't tagged him or anything in there. And he said the tweet was like, "I love Chris Jericho. Rudy Tooty Booty is my new favorite saying." But I hadn't tagged Chris Jericho, so they like vanity searched it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the funny thing was, it was in New Orleans. I'm from Louisiana. I could have been there that night, but I had tickets to SmackDown the next day. That was when they would do the tapings. I think it would air on like Thursday, but they would do the tapings on Tuesday. So I was like, man, I could have been there. That would have been cool if I would have been there and he read it too. I was like, oh, but yeah. So like, I got like 500 followers in 2 hours. It was crazy. People were like, oh, that's so cool. And then, of course, there's trolls saying stuff. And I was just like, whatever. You're just jealous and stuff like that. But yeah, that was still pretty cool. And that was like 6 years ago, January 11th, 2016.
Ooh, look at that memory.
Yep. And then that whole week was cool because I met Natty. Natty came into when I was at that SmackDown show the next day. And I had a Dudley Boy sign. My Dudley Boy sign got on the TV. It said Dudley's Restaurant serving 3D at every table. And it was on like during their entrance. So that was a pretty cool week. Jerry Lawler mentioned it when he was still like on commentary. He's like, Dudley's have a restaurant? And I was like, no, I just made it up. Like, that was pretty cool. Like they use tables. Like Dudley's Restaurant serving 3D at every table. And that was actually, that ties into another crazy story. So when I went to my first Raw show I ever went to was like in 2000. It was like August 2000, and I brought 3 signs with me that night. One of them said "Your cup of shut up juice," which was The Rock used to say. And that sign got caught on TV because Right to Censor was there back in the day, and I was holding it up as Stevie Richards was talking. So that sign got caught, and I had that Dudley Boy sign that I was just talking about. I had that sign in 2000, so that's another sign. Like it got like, I think it was 16 years later, it got on TV too. So it's like a pretty crazy story. It all ties in. And then I actually met Stevie Richards, and I brought the cup of Shut Up Juice sign for him to sign it. So he signed it, and then I met Bubba Ray. He signed the Dudley Boys table one, so there's his signature on it. I missed both Dudley Boys at Access in 2018 when they were in New Orleans. I ended up meeting Natty again for a second time, and then by the time, because the way Access is set up, like you couldn't find anybody. You had to kind of like run around and be like, oh, Natty's at this table. So I was like trying to find the Dudley Boys, and I couldn't really find them. I was like, well, maybe I can meet Natty and then run, to the Dudley Boys, but I couldn't get there in time. Like you only have like 2 hours to meet people, and then it rotates to the next wrestler. So I was like, I missed out on him. But Bubba was at WrestleCon, which is like it's kind of like Access, but like, people that aren't in WWE anymore. And he was there. I got to meet him, and I took a picture with him, and he signed my poster. So I have a Stevie Richards signature on one poster, and I got a Bubba Ray on the other one. So it's pretty neat.
Doing your thing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so wrestling's pretty cool, and then like podcasting's even cooler. You get to talk to people, like all your favorite people. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I love it. I love it. Are you all right, Remy?
Yeah. I'm good.
Nah, but yeah. Like I said, man, like the 29th, Battleground, CCW, 1CW show. It's actually our first show of the new year. So that's gonna be interesting. So it's gonna be time to get it going. And everybody's ready, everybody's excited. Looking forward to it. So be on the lookout for a lot of stuff.
So January 29th, y'all definitely if you're in the area, go ahead and support them. If you're in the surrounding areas, go and support them as well too. If you could drive there, go ahead and do it as well. Kathy does it for 4 hours, so definitely that means you could definitely do it too. If you're that much dedicated, you could definitely make that as well. Hell, like I said, if you work at the airlines and you got them buddy passes, you can make it happen too. Trust me, y'all know y'all could. So y'all definitely check out, CCW Battleground. You'll see a lot of interesting stars there, some of the best female wrestlers in the business, and also just keep supporting them, man. I mean, and just if you can't be there in person, go ahead and order it on not Fight TV, Title Match Network, and you can definitely see it there. That's another way you can actually support. That's another way you can actually support indie wrestling. If you can't be there at the shows, you could actually purchase the shows on Title Match Network or Fight TV or anywhere else that they have them. And a lot of times, I'll be honest, they're not even that expensive. Come on, some of y'all pay $50 to watch WWE and AEW, and I'm not judging you. I'm not preaching to you how you should spend your money. But if you could afford $50 for WWE or AEW TV or AEW like pay-per-view, right? Why not for a CCW show if you say you love women's wrestling, and why not for Mission Pro and the rest of them too? So definitely that's another way you can support it. And also
title match.
Yeah,
$99 a month. That's it.
That's a McDonald's meal for some of y'all. Come on. Come on. But yeah, but definitely, go ahead and support CCW. Cop the merch. They got that sweet purple knight with the purple shield on the shirt. As a matter of fact, where could they get the merch from, man? Where could we get some CCW merch from, man?
What a Maneuver. I think it's whatamaneuver.net. I believe that's the correct the site. But yeah, What a Maneuver. You go in there, type in Capital Championship Wrestling, and have T-shirts, anything, hoodies, muscle shirts, and things like that. So go in there, take your time, see what you like, and go ahead and like Remy said, cop something.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and y'all definitely go ahead and check out the merch, and support indie wrestling, man. And like I said, if you haven't seen a CCW show yet, check them out. They're doing a lot of great things. A lot of interesting people are actually appearing on their show. So definitely check it out as well. You will not be bored. You will not be unimpressed. You will be impressed, and your face will be left like this. So yeah, definitely check them out. That's exactly how I was when I saw the clips of some of the matches. I haven't gotten around to seeing a full show because I've been busy with life and so on, work and everything. But I'm definitely gonna check it out. But y'all should definitely check out CCW as well. And they're doing it big. Like, I can tell you that right now. And also, like I said, like he said, you get 2 for 1. You get one CW, you get CCW. So if you're in the area, why not? But anyways, with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this down. Murchello, where can fans find you on social media when they wanna find out when the next CCW show is, and all that good stuff? And where can female wrestlers that want to be on the CCW show, where can they find you to email you to send their resume and so on?
So you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at CCW Action. That's our handle on Twitter and Instagram. And if anybody's interested to send their resume and videos and stuff like that, you can send it to ccwbookings@gmail.com. That's ccwbookings@gmail.com. So we'll check out your work.
Awesome. So y'all heard, that's the contact information. Follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, all that good stuff. Trust me, they're definitely doing it big in the Northeast and pretty much all over the country. I mean, they're already working with Mission Pro Wrestling, so why not? But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this down. We just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight.
Definitely.
Kathy, the Lauren Hill to my Wyclef, the you know, I normally do this with Rob, and I say Rob, the Mel Gibson to
Yeah.
my dad, the Sean Spencer by Burton Guster. But that's all I got is Lauren Hill
That's a
and
good one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
for my old school wrestling fans, the leader to my Ese Rios.
There you go.
Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch and Paige, and check out your edits and so on?
So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517.
Cool. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue, and you can also find our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're also on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Spotify, and we're actually working on getting our season 3 episodes on Spotify as well. And we also have a Facebook group called Ringside Society. You can go ahead and join us there too as well. And we also have a YouTube channel, which is another one of our streaming platforms where episodes like this one are being streamed. So definitely go ahead, and when you get to YouTube, just go ahead and subscribe to us. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and when you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, you'll know that's us. So make sure you subscribe to all of our videos, because you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. Fumbled on that one too. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out what we got coming up. Like I said, we got AQA, we got several other people coming on, so you don't want to miss out. And also check out our past interviews as well too, with Jasmine Alert, with Maddie Rinkowski, with the Renegade Twins, Kaiden King, Anakin Rosa, many other people. So definitely, check us out. And we also have a Teespring store where we actually sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have shirts, we have tank tops, we have hoodies, we have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. We have a lot of stuff there. So definitely, check us out, buy some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. It does not go back into our pockets. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this down. So we just want to thank everybody tuning in tonight live. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it, and we're very grateful. We know we're not the best, but we do try our best to bring quality content to you, the fans, as well. And to those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Kathy Knight at a Cafe Du Monde store, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us. I got to say it.
That sounds so weird. Normally Rob says, Rob, you gotta hurry, come back, man. You're making this show weird now, bro. But yes, and we ain't stopping. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey yo, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for one half of the first ever 1CW Tag Team Champions, the D-Line, and the owner of Capital Championship Wrestling, who's going to be having Battleground on Saturday, January 29th, Murchello. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll actually be back in less than an hour with another impressive host. But until then, we want y'all to do us 4 favors. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Good night.